Well, hello again. Here we are, day 11 of the 12 days of Licksmas. There's only one more day left after this, which will be, that'll be Sam tomorrow. So, um, I actually don't have a lick, right now. But I had one, but I decided I didn't want to use that one. As much as I liked it and as important as I think it is, it was this, in case anyone's wondering. I love that. It comes from Tony Trischka. Tony Trischka's playing it. Yeah. Baylor uses it a great deal. Of course, he studied with Tony, and it's famous from a Scott Vestal solo, almost more than anything else. But that's a Tony lick. But I maybe we'll do a video on that another time. But I didn't feel that it lined up with the other vocabulary that I've been talking about, right? So I've been we found several points on the neck where we build vocabulary from, right? So we started with connecting this to this, and I talked about how do we get to this, and what do we do when we land on this. Well, of course, this is very trivial. All our open neck Scruggs vocabulary is oriented around this G, right? And a lot of our up the neck vocabulary is oriented around this fifth string. So they're both kind of trivial, and that's kind of why I started with it. But I gave a bunch of options anyway, and hopefully you know what those are. So maybe Ricky, you could write these down as I'm saying them.
Yeah.
So the other thing that we had was on that same day, I also connected licks up to this B here. So first of all, write down the open fifth, and then the open third.
With any specific rhythm?
No, just two per bar, right? Right. So I was connecting those two notes, right? Like this, or or any kind of thing, or all kinds of things, right? So then, because part of the point of that was getting up the neck to down the neck, I gave a way of connecting down the neck to up the neck, and to me the point there was to get to this note, right? I wanted to get to this note, so I gave a couple of ways, or just diatonic, right? And then you can go, right? So you can connect to your kind of that E minor quasi E minor position, Scruggs up the neck stuff. So that was a way. So we've got now. We don't need to see those. Well, actually, no. Keep those licks there. Writing down the B on the first string, fret 9. Write down the B, right? So we had ways of getting up to that B from, say, the third string, right? So what do you do when you hit the B? Well, you can play any of these, something in that territory, which hopefully a lot of you know. But we can also connect that 9. Exactly. We can also connect that 9 to the fifth string with something like this. Exactly. Or you could do something like this. Right? We can connect that. Okay. So you can start putting these things together. Right? You can start going. Or I could have gone. Sorry. See how I connected those? Or, sorry. There I used the measure 7 like that. So we've got these points. We've got the fifth string, the open third. We've got this ninth fret here, and we're already, just by building some vocabulary around these 3 points, and all of our licks connect between them, right? We can already create these beautiful strings of improvisations, right? Just by connecting these points. I didn't play anything. I didn't play anything in that 10 seconds that I hadn't already just explained in the past 5 minutes, right? And if you have a good technique and you have a good a pretty good musical memory, which you should have been able to develop by now,
Given it's the 11th day of Licksmas and all.
well, well, just in your play. I mean, we're speaking to when you teach a lesson, everything. Any time you teach something, you assume certain pieces of knowledge on the part of the student. It's impossible, right? So of course, I'm assuming that you have done a lot of this. I'm assuming that you've learned enough Scruggs solos to know what this is. Right. That's my assumption, and that's a pretty advanced player. So again, I apologize if anyone's watching who hasn't really worked on that stuff, because a lot of people haven't. But a lot of the licks that we're talking about are they assume a pretty good handle on stuff like that. And if you don't, you just take some lessons. I mean, everybody needs to take lessons. I'm having a lesson with Kristen on Monday. Because
Oh, that's exciting.
yeah, you never. There's no. I mean, I talked about this in my first video. Schubert was taking counterpoint lessons until the day he died. He was one of the greatest composers that ever lived, unless you ask Sam. In which case, it's meaningless drivel. But I think the Trout Quintet, Death in the Maiden. I mean, holy smokes, um, the Wanderer. I mean, oh my goodness, the Sonata and the. Anyways, I could go on and on. The last 18 months of his life, some of the greatest masterpieces ever written in classical music, and he was taking lessons during that time from Simon Zechter, the greatest counterpoint master in Europe. So, nobody is above taking lessons. So if you don't have a really good handle on this stuff, just take lessons from one of us, and we will show you the way to banjo ascension.
That's
Right, Ricky?
right.
So, so, anyways, so let's keep on
Can
this,
I
right?
ask a rather
So
pedantic question, Cassidy?
yes, yes.
So you strung some fantastic licks together, and Ricky has masterfully tapped them out in bars 13 to 14. What happens in the fingering? So in 14, if I'm a beginner, I'm used to, I know this lick, I know that sort of thing. I've probably seen it in Blackberry Blossom. I'm used
Yeah.
to putting my index finger on that ninth fret. That seems a little bit tricky coming right after that lick because I already have my index finger on the eighth fret.
Good point. Good point. So I'm staying in that E minor Sally Gooden position, right? And I'm using the third finger this is in major 14. The fret 9 is still the third finger, and the 10 I'm using the fourth finger, just like I would in Sally Gooden. Right there. And then shifting down like this. So that's how I'm doing that. Yes, that's an excellent point. Yeah, so sometimes you have to be careful, because even though it takes us to this note, we might actually have the wrong finger.
Right. So it's a familiar figure, but it's maybe an unfamiliar fingering for most people.
Yes, exactly. So it's not a perfect system, because it's not just based around the notes. It's based around what finger you use and things like that. But usually you're going to be those things are not going to be a problem. And in this case, it's not really a problem. It's a very minor problem, and it's one that's easily fixed just by changing the fingering that you might be used to. So that's fine. That's a really excellent point, Sam.
I appreciate it. There's another way to solve it too, which is to bring the middle finger up from the E, and I'm not saying that's better by any means, but you could do that as well. But the point is that it might be well to get used to playing certain familiar figures with multiple fingerings. It's maybe dangerous to associate a figure with one particular fingering because sometimes it's not possible, depending on where you're coming from.
Yes. So then, to sum up, we've got this is one of our dovetailing points. This is 2, and now this is, right? So just write those three out, Ricky, on the next line. Right, so we've got 3 points now where we build vocabulary from.
Was that the fifth string?
Fifth string, yeah. We've got 3 points now where we build vocabulary from. Now look at this lick. Right? Those connect 2 new points. Right? Those connect 2 new points. Okay? So do this, Ricky. And then yeah, put the 7 instead of 4 on the first. Instead of the 7, a 4 on the first. Yeah. And then that connects to this. Yes. No, this is the previous one.
There you go.
Yeah. Also, the lick starts on 1st fret. And then, interestingly, Ricky, it connects to your... Right? Right? Exactly. So now we've got 2 points. We've got the 1st fret of the 2nd string and the 12th fret. Now we haven't we haven't built vocabulary around those yet. But again, you will probably have vocabulary built around... Again, we discussed this, right? We've done a lot of stuff up here. Right? Or just thirds. So we can connect either of those, for example. I forgot what I did. Right? Or I could have gone... Right? So what I did in my video is I showed how do you get from here to here, right? Because we've used because this is a point where we're familiar with. So I gave like this example or this, or if you notice, that actually connected to here as well. So I could have gone right. See how it all fits together, or I could have gone. I used another lick here. Right, so then I could go connect it to, again, one of the things that I talked about. So the point is we're connecting, we're finding how that 12 fits into our framework, right? And then we're also finding how the 1 fits into our framework, right? So again, Sam gave us a bunch of ways of connecting the G to this C, right? So now we're so again, you can just write that out, Ricky. Right, we're finding a bunch of ways to connect right to that C. So we could go so now I'm starting to, I almost have enough for a whole break. In fact, we really do have enough for a whole break at this point.
Yeah,
right?
we do.
But you'll notice one thing. I also, again, just to finish up, I also figured out ways to connect just to this B, right? So then I can go, right? I made 1 measure versions and things like that. But if you followed the video, right? So that again, that's just building on the same thing.
Yeah.
That's just building on the same thing. Yeah, and just change that last one to a 9. Yeah, change the last one to a 9. What you have right there is I gave that as an option, so you can keep that. Just change the last note to a 9. Yeah, so that's a perfectly good option. It's not what I played, but it's in the video. It's in the video. So again, I'm just building on the same point. Is that I'm just connecting to these these dovetailing points, right? Connecting to these places that where I built vocabulary from which place I built vocabulary in the previous video, right? So we can connect it to that 9, which should be familiar to us, right? Or I could connect or I could connect to that 12 because we built vocabulary. Yeah. Sorry, I was just somebody's here and they need to be let in. So I'm just a little distracted. So, anyways, that leads us to what the lick that I'm going to talk about in my video, whatever it may be. You'll have seen it probably by the time you watch this, but
it will be a lick that connects D to G, right?
Yes. So yes. Or really, it's a lick that connects. More specific, it's more important than that. It's a lick that connects to one of these points, right? Or you see my point, right? So I could come up with a lick like this. See how I've connected to that G? So now I could go like this. Sorry. Connected it to one of those things that I've already played. Right? So now I have a little piece of vocabulary for every chord, right? Or I could start that on this string. I could go in case the melody goes there. Or I could have started it here in case the melody goes here. That's probably the main lick that I'll talk about since it covers every point of the melody. So try and tab that out, Ricky. I don't know if you did it already.
What was it?
Yeah, that's right.
I kind of got this.
And then go da 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 da. Yeah, use 6th fret. That's right, but use the 6th fret instead of the 2nd fret. 6th, yeah, exactly. And then go.
Hold on, can we have just one banjo player at a time play, please?
And then another. It's a sequence, right? Yeah, you got it. So what I'd like us to do, just to illustrate the point, is I'd like each of you to try and compose something that connects, a point from here or here or here to either here or up to here, right? Just try to compose something, right? Like I just did. So Sam, you had something, right?
I did indeed have something. I'm still worried about this person that needs to be let into your house. But I will forge ahead nonetheless. So yes, we were talking about this earlier before the video started, and something that had occurred to me was, let's see if I can remember it. And you can continue through any number of Scrugsy means if you wanted to extend that further, but.
Exactly, you just connected it to one of my pieces. Beautiful.
I did.
Okay.
No 3rd fret there. It's first 4 notes are.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking to Ricky. Yeah,
I'm talking to Ricky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just 024.
024. Yeah. And that's the 5th string, yeah. And the 5th string is the glue to get to, sorry. I got it backwards for some. It's 750.
You take over for a sec. I need to.
Yeah, 750. Because that gives us a chance to get to the 10th fret. Yeah, and then so
Does he do 9 on the fifth string?
what was that?
Is it right there? 9 on the fifth
Yep,
string?
yep. Yep, and then 8 on the first string. Yep. Right, and that prepares us for the little cadential moment at the end with the at the 7th fret. Yep. And then we can do anything that could possibly happen on G. I just picked what, Cassidy has kind of, it's his go-to, which... Yeah. If you want to fill out the rest of that bar, we should do some of that.
Exactly. And you know what's beautiful, Sam?
What is beautiful, Cassidy?
Do you see have a look, see if you can connect to Max's lick. A segment of Max's lick at one point here.
Oh,
Can you see it?
The...
Yeah.
That
exactly.
Thing. Yeah. Well.
Right?
Yeah, I thought his lick never quite extended down to... even though I wanted it to. And I wanted to talk about extensions of his lick further down the neck, but that is the natural extension further down.
But no, he does have that in his lick.
Does he really?
He does, yeah. Right? Something like
that one, yeah.
And then we can do the same thing. Or, right, any combination, right? So,
yeah.
Works beautifully. So we've connected... we've got a couple licks now that connect to this, right? So now how about a D lick? We could think outside the box. We could have a D lick that starts here, right? Since we have a lick that connects us to this note, why not have a D lick that connects us, that starts in this place, right?
Yeah.
So I had one that was like this, right? And then we can go, since this is a really common place to end up, we know we can do a lot of things from here. So I could go, sorry. Anyways, you get the idea, right?
I like that.
So you could come up with something else, right? Or you could.
I think Max and Ricky are on the line.
You could find a lick that connects to here, right? Because as soon as you have a D lick that connects to here, we can immediately use our vocabulary from here. Or we could go, right? You see how it all fits together. So so Ricky and Max, you try coming up with something that takes us to here or here, and begins in one of these places, either here, here, or here, because those are common places to land, right? Or even here. Right?
Oh, B to G you want now? Is that what you said?
No.
Should be a D lick,
that connects to here. A D lick that connects to here, right? And it could start in one of these places because these are common places to land.
Oh,
right.
Okay, I see.
So it could connect to here, but you could also come up with one that connects to here. Any of the places we've discussed, a number of places, right? That I just spent, These are places that we have. Even here,
yeah.
you can find a D lick that connects to here, right?
I got you.
If the progression went D to C, for instance.
I understand. I came up with one that went from this G to G.
Yeah, try it. Well, let me see what it is.
I came up with a...
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's a little bit awkward fingering wise, but I like the melody though.
It's beautiful, and that is something.
Ricky,
that is something.
Do you want me to, Ricky, show you how to do it?
Sure.
So we have 2 at the third, then we have the 5th at the 2nd. That's an E. So
yeah.
The third, yeah, that third note, exactly, yeah. And then you have the open first. Yeah. Hold on, what am I doing? We're moving up here, so we have 7 at the 2nd string. Yep, and then open, yeah, exactly. Then we have the open, the first string again at the 9th.
But oh,
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we're using index to middle. And then you have 5th string at 7. And then 7, 9 on the 2nd and 3rd. And then 1st string. Yeah. That's a yep. And then open 5th.
So there where you have 2 first strings in a row, you're going middle index.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a little awkward.
It's not awkward. I think it's beautiful. But you might want to you might end up playing with it for a while. And you might find something you like better. But that's a perfect illustration of what I mean. So again, I'll try slowly just putting it into a tune. Just let let's again. No reason not to play "Your Love Is Like a Flower" over and over again. So let's say I'm in the middle of an improvisation and I'm going. Or I could have gone. Right, connected it to whatever piece of any piece of vocabulary that I discussed in my previous videos that begins on the 5th string. Right, because then you have a lick that dovetails with other pieces of vocabulary, so the incorporation of it becomes automatic. Again, that's my point. I'm kind of belaboring it at this point, but I really want to make sure we all are on the same page here. So try finding something that connects to a different note, like this B, Ricky. Maybe try and find a lick that starts here and lands here, resolves here on the downbeat. It could be a 1 measure lick. It could be a 2 measure lick.
Maybe that. I don't know if I would use that. It's a little complicated, but I really like this. I don't know if I would use that.
Yeah,
that
or
counts as-
just you could do.
That's
Or,
one.
yeah, that's gorgeous.
And that's a hammer-on right there.
Yeah.
Again, I don't really like this shift right here. That's a little nasty, but it works.
Yeah, I don't mind it. You could refinger it a little, and then you could. What could you do?
Well, then you shift to the index on the 7.
I would do 3rd finger here.
Actually, I like.
third finger.
Actually, I think this would actually be pretty nice.
Yeah, there you go. Or
That's one.
that's gorgeous.
I think this is probably the slickest and the most usable.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play this. Just write that out as a second option. So again, I'll try and. So again, same thing. Right, so you can construct a whole solo now with the 3 days, right? You could construct really endless solos with the vocabulary that I've given, right? So that's the lesson. I think that's a nice conclusion.
Oh no, and that's a 7.
I thought so, right?
Yeah, I want to outline that. I want to outline the D7.
Exactly. So hopefully this is a nice way of kind of capping, my 3 days. As you can see how this really shows how you can start writing vocabulary and why it makes sense to orient your vocabulary in this way around these dovetailing points, right? And it reminds me of a quote of Bill Keith in an interview with Tony Trischka, where he says, I'm gonna have to paraphrase because I don't remember it exactly. I'll have to find it. I could find it, but he says, as you develop as a player, you start to realize that a lick is really a really small thing of maybe 3 or 4 notes, right? And so what he's talking about are these little pieces of vocabulary. Like, look at this. Right, that's a piece that we've already used a million times, right? In our discussions here, right, or right, we're starting to see these places. That's so common. You hear that? I'm just putting 2 of them together. So really, this lick that is this. You think it's this, oh, I've got to memorize all these licks. No, because 2 of these pieces, you've already played these before, right? These should be uber familiar. Right? So it's really not as much as you think. And we touched on that a bit in another video. I think, Sam, you brought up this point. But if anyone else has anything to say, if not, that's a nice conclusion, I think.
Yeah, this is great. It's a great exercise, and again, in encouraging the kind of play that we're talking about, there's an infinite number of ways to get from D to G or D to B left that we haven't discovered yet, and you could find them at home.
Yeah, and just remember, find pieces of stuff, fall into pieces that you already know, right? So that 9 right there. This is another piece. I use that in another lick. So how about I dovetail those 2 together, right? So I could go like this. You see that? I've never played that before, but it immediately occurred to me, and it's automatic now, right? If I had 1 measure of G going to C, right, in a tune, at the start of the tune, we're probably going to have 5 before it, so I could definitely use this lick, right? Actually, no, because that doesn't connect. That just prolongs the G. What am I talking about? It's because the reason I said C is because it comes from a C lick that I taught. So that just prolongs the G, right? So I could go, again. Let me do it let me just start with an improvisation. So do so again, a whole solo. Just with stuff that we've already discussed. I think there was 1 piece there, which is just a piece of veiled vocabulary they used. But I didn't have to use that. I could have done something else. I could have just gone. I just took my picks off, but I could have gone, which is a piece that you all already know instead of this. I just did that because it's natural for me, because I played a lot. But again, it's just another piece of vocabulary that you can just learn and is automatic, because there are lots of things that get us to that open first string, and that's the note that lick is oriented around. So hopefully you start to see the point now.
Yeah.
All right, guys, ready to move on?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cassidy.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Merry Licksmas.